The second suffers by force with confusion and regret. Every time you say a no to temptation, you are building a future self who can be trusted with more responsibility. Every time you keep your word, you strengthen the foundation of your character. So start small. Make your bed. Wake up when you said you would. Keep your promises. Study when no one is watching. These small acts accumulate. They form the armor that protects you from the world's inevitable blows. Discipline is not about perfection. It's about direction. It's about direction. You will fail, but that failure will teach you. You will stumble, but that stumbling will humble you. And through that process, you will become someone who no longer needs the world to discipline you because you've learned to do it yourself. The truth about discipline is that it's not glamorous. It's quiet, repetitive, and often thankless. Thankless. It's the alarm clock ringing before dawn, the decision to read when you'd rather scroll, the refusal to speak when anger tempts you to explode. Discipline happens in the shadows, long before success is visible to anyone else. And that's why so few people cultivate it, because it doesn't feel rewarding at first. You won't feel proud when you wake up early the first time. You won't feel powerful when you say no to your cravings or distractions. But slowly, something begins to shift inside you. You start trusting yourself. You begin to realize that you are capable of more than you thought. That realization is the beginning of freedom. When you lack discipline, you live in a state of internal chaos. You know what you should do, but you can't bring yourself to do it. That gap between what you know and what you do is where anxiety lives. Discipline closes that gap. It unifies your thoughts and actions so that you are no longer at war with yourself. That's why the disciplined person walks with quiet confidence. They are not perfect, but they are integrated. You're integrated. Their mind and body work together toward a single aim. Without that alignment, life feels meaningless and scattered. You drift, waiting for someone or something to fix you, but no one is coming to save you. Discipline is the rescue plan. The world rewards discipline in ways that comfort never can. Never can. The disciplined athlete earns strength. The disciplined student earns mastery. The disciplined parent earns respect. You might think discipline is restrictive, but it's the only path that leads to expansion. When you can control yourself, you can handle responsibility. When you can handle responsibility, people trust you. When people trust you, opportunities multiply. It's a chain reaction that begins with small acts of self-control. Conversely, a lack of discipline triggers the opposite chain reaction: lost trust, missed chances, and a shrinking sense of worth. The smallest neglected habit, lateness, dishonesty, laziness, creates ripples that eventually turn into storms. There's another truth people rarely admit. Discipline is a form of love. It's self-respect turned into daily action. To discipline yourself is to say, I care enough about my future to suffer now. Parents discipline their children not because they enjoy saying no, but because they want to prepare them for a world that will not always be kind. In the same way, when you discipline yourself, you are being a parent to your own potential. You are preparing your future self to survive, to thrive, and to endure. Without that, you remain a child in an adult's body, reactive, entitled, and fragile. Many people want to change the world, but few are willing to change themselves first. They protest against injustice, but ignore their own laziness. They demand fairness from society, but refuse to play fair with their own time. The disciplined individual understands that the smallest unit of order begins within. Before you fix a broken system, fix your broken habits. Before you demand truth from others, stop lying to yourself. The person who can command their own actions commands the respect of the world, even if no one applauds them for it. You can't cheat the system of life. Every shortcut comes with a hidden toll. You might avoid the gym today, but your body will collect that debt. You might skip the hard work now, but your career will remember. You might postpone difficult conversations, but your relationships will deteriorate silently. Discipline is not punishment. It's the fair price of growth. The world will demand payment either way. Discipline just lets you choose how and when you'll pay. Sometimes people say they want motivation, but motivation is fleeting. It's a spark, not a furnace. Discipline is the furnace. Motivation is the excitement that comes and goes. Discipline is what remains when excitement disappears. The most successful, peaceful, and fulfilled people are not those who feel motivated every day, but those who act with integrity even when they don't feel like it, They understand that action precedes emotion. You don't wait to feel disciplined. You act disciplined, and the feeling follows. Discipline also clarifies who you are. When you hold yourself to a higher standard, you begin to see your true values. You discover what really matters to you because you're forced to choose. Every no you say to distraction is a yes to something meaningful. Every time you resist temptation, you're declaring what kind of person you intend to become. Identity isn't something you find. It's something you build, brick by brick, through disciplined choices. You must also understand that discipline is not perfection, it's persistence. You will fail again and again, but each failure gives you a chance to practice resilience. When you slip, you don't start over. You continue wiser. Discipline is forgiving yourself without excusing yourself. It's recognizing your flaws without surrendering to them. The world will knock you down repeatedly, and if you don't have the internal strength that comes from self-discipline, you'll stay down. But if you've trained yourself to rise, no amount of chaos can permanently break you. So much of life's suffering comes from resisting what is necessary. What is necessary? People suffer more from avoiding effort than from effort itself. The pain of discipline is sharp but clean. The pain of regret is dull and endless. One lasts a moment, the other lingers for years. If you want to avoid the crushing weight of regret, start choosing the short-term pain of discipline now, because while the world can teach you through cruelty and consequence, self-discipline teaches you through purpose and preparation. One builds you, the other breaks you, the other breaks you, the other breaks you. You can't escape the need for discipline. The only question is whether it will be self-imposed or world-imposed. You can choose to build habits, structure, and order, or you can wait until the world forces structure upon you through failure, loss, and hardship. The wise person takes the first path. They understand that freedom without discipline is chaos, and chaos always ends in suffering. The disciplined person suffers early, but that suffering transforms into competence, confidence, and peace. The undisciplined person avoids suffering, but life ensures that they suffer anyway, only without meaning. In the end, the disciplined life is not just about achievement, it's about dignity. It's about being someone who can be relied upon, someone who has earned their own respect. Discipline yourself before the world does it for you, because the world is merciless to those who refuse to grow, but remarkably generous to those who do. The world bows to the disciplined, not because they are lucky, but because they have built themselves into something the world cannot easily defeat. When you decide to discipline yourself, you begin to see life differently. You stop expecting it to be easy. You stop blaming others for your failures. You stop waiting for the perfect time, the perfect opportunity, the perfect feeling. It builds interest in the form of failure, regret, and shame. The person who avoids small difficulties now will face enormous ones later. The person who refuses to confront their flaws will eventually be confronted by the world, and the world has no patience for excuses. When you fail to discipline yourself, reality will do it, and reality is a cruel teacher. You can see it everywhere. The man who never learned to control his temper loses his job. The student who never disciplined their mind falls into mediocrity, too. The person who never built self-control ruins relationships and blames everyone else. Life punishes weakness, not because it is cruel, but because it must. But because it must. Nature doesn't reward those who drift aimlessly. It rewards those who adapt, who take responsibility, who impose order on themselves before chaos does. The laws of life are ancient and unyielding. You can either align yourself with them, or be crushed by them, or be crushed by them. To discipline yourself means to take command of your own destiny. It's the act of saying, I will not wait for the world to correct me. I will correct myself. It means cleaning your environment, mastering your impulses, speaking truthfully, and doing what must be done, even when it's unpleasant. It's a decision to confront the dragon willingly rather than waiting for it to destroy your village. Discipline doesn't remove struggle. It teaches you how to face it. It doesn't erase pain. It gives your pain purpose. People want freedom, but freedom without discipline is chaos. A person without self-control is a prisoner of their desires. You can't claim to be free if you're ruled by laziness, by fear, by distraction. Freedom only exists when you are capable of governing yourself. The undisciplined person is tossed around by every emotion, every impulse, every temptation. The disciplined person, however, stands firm. They may be tired, uncertain, even afraid, but they act anyway. That's real strength, not the absence of weakness, but the mastery of it. Discipline is not about perfection. It's about consistency. It's waking up and showing up even when you don't feel like it. It's the quiet decision to keep moving when no one is watching, when there's no applause, no immediate reward. The results come later, after repetition, after failure, after effort has hardened into character. Every disciplined act, no matter how small, is a declaration of who you are. Each moment of restraint builds the foundation of a life that can bear weight. We live in a world that glorifies comfort. Every distraction is designed to pull you away from effort, to entertain you, to pacify you, to keep you weak. But comfort, when worshipped, becomes a trap. It dulls the mind, softens the body, and empties the soul. Discipline is the rebellion against that decay. It's the refusal to surrender to mediocrity. It's the acknowledgement that nothing worthwhile is achieved without sacrifice. You cannot rise if you do not first bear the weight of discipline. When you discipline yourself, you earn something far greater than pleasure. You earn respect. Respect for yourself, and eventually, respect from others. You become someone reliable, someone others can count on. Your words begin to carry weight because they are backed by action. You no longer drift from one desire to the next. You move with intention. People may not notice it at first, but the world has a way of bending to those who have mastered themselves. The undisciplined must obey, the disciplined lead, the disciplined led. To discipline yourself before the world does is to act from wisdom rather than fear. It's to understand that life will test you either way, but one path allows you to grow stronger through voluntary struggle. The other leaves you broken by the struggle you refuse to face. You can choose your suffering, either the controlled pain of discipline or the uncontrolled pain of discipline or the uncontrolled pain of failure. One builds character, the other corrodes it. The question then is not whether discipline is necessary. It's whether you will choose it willingly. Every day presents you with that choice. To rise or to decay, to take responsibility or to run from it, to act or to avoid. Discipline is the answer to that choice. It is the bridge between who you are and who you could be. And if you do not build that bridge yourself, the world will build walls around you instead.